Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Petra. I am one of the vets at the Tvernal Stud Farm. We are one of the few reproductive centers in the UK, and we are fully specialized on the reproduction, and any problems you would have, we can hopefully help you with. We have a full boarding facilities. We have a foaling unit with full veterinary supervision, and we have large recipient herd. So in case you would be interested in embryo flush and embryo transfer, it's something what we can help you with. We also do lots of infertility investigation. So if you would have a problematic mare who doesn't want to keep the pregnancy or doesn't want to go in foal, we can investigate further and help you. We also do lots of training courses, even for breeders or veterinarians, all year around. We are quite busy a little bit in the beginning of the season, and just last weekend we were holding Saturday and Sunday foaling course and treatment of youngsters and young stocks. So what I will be talking about, I will be talking about Mare reproduction. I will do a little summary just to kind of keep everyone on the same board. And then I will be speaking more about the more advanced artificial reproductive techniques, which can be helpful for even you as a rare breed owners. So how we are speaking about mare cycle, they are long day breeders. They have something which we call winter anestrus, so they don't cycle over the winter. And before they will come to breeding season, they have something what we call transitional period. Purely in nature, when the sun is a little bit longer, let's say 16 hours plus. So they are cycling regularly somewhere from April or May to August. We know that every mare is individual, so you can see mares, they are cycling even longer in September or October, but generally this is the period where they are cycling. Their cycle is 21 days old. The cycle is 21 days long. It has an estrous phase where they are in heat, and they have a diestrus phase, the one dominant follicle ovulated. They produce something what we call CL, corpus luteum. It's kind of looking like this. And it's producing progesterone hormone and hopefully will maintain potential pregnancy. If the mare will not get pregnant or she was not bred, just before the 20 days, she will be released hormone, prostaglandins, just from her body, and it will reduce the activity of the CL, and she will come back to the follicular phase. So she will start growing little follicles on her ovaries, and hopefully again she will ovulate and the cycle will maintain. Just during the autumn, the cyclicity will stop. She will start growing little follicles, but they will not ovulate, and then she will come back to winter anestrus, and she will rest until next spring. I would like to talk a little bit about artificial insemination. It's only because due to the artificial insemination, and I would like to kind of carry on what Thales was speaking about, that it can help you kind of shorten some distance if the mare is very far from your stallion, or you can use even semen from abroad. You can use semen which is frozen for many years, and you can come back to breed some kind of other kind of line of your mare or stallion. What we do to use artificial insemination, we need to scan the mare regularly. Unfortunately, they are big animals, so most of the regular scanning can't be done over the belly. It needs to be rectal examination, which belongs to hand of the bed, according to the UK law. If you want to do AI, you need to have some semen, so you need to plan when and what you will use. And you have certain points of ovulation window which you will plan. When we are using fresh or chilled semen, we are using you can get your semen in this little box in a syringe, and hopefully you will prepare your mare. She will ovulate within a window of 12 or 24 hours after you will AI her. If you are using fresh semen, that's a little bit bigger. It will give you a little bit bigger window. It will give you maybe a 36 hours window. If you are using frozen semen insemination, it's a little bit more difficult. You need to be much closer to the point of ovulation. There are scientific papers, they are speaking that if you will AI your mare 6 hours before or 6 hours post-ovulation, it will give you the same results. It will require much more frequent scanning. In that time, very close to ovulation at the vernals, we are scanning 3 times or 4 times per day, and we also time them with ovulatory hormone. So we tell that we induce them because the ovulatory hormone hopefully will time them to ovulate between 36 or 40 hours post the injection. And then we will carry on scanning, and once we are very close to ovulation or just at the ovulation, we will AI them. It's a little bit more difficult procedure. You can see on my picture that the catheter needs to go into the tip of the horn. Maybe I will just go back. You can see that the fresh or chilled semen is deposited just in the body, but the frozen semen needs to go into the horn. It's purely that the frozen semen is a little bit affected with the freezing. So we want to help to shorten the distance from the body to the horn. And also, generally, we are AIing them at the time of the ovulation. So the follicle was already released, is waiting in the oviduct, and hopefully, if we will deposit semen just into the tip of the horn, it will go to the oviduct very easily. And again, this is a procedure which belongs to the vet hands. It's good to know, and always Stalin AI would advise you on that. There is a little bit difference that if we are speaking one dose or opposite to numbers of straws. So one dose, it can have many straws or it can be only one straw, and you always need to kind of keep the guidance of the person or of the stat who produced the semen for you. So if the dose is supposed to be 6 straws, you need to put 6 straws in. We don't recommend to divide the doses. If you want to higher your chances, what we can do the one dose, let's say 6 straws, just before ovulation, let's say 6 hours before ovulation, and then another 6 straws after ovulation, and then we will increase the chances that for an embryo or for pregnancy. Why we like frozen semen insemination? Because we can order the semen very well advanced before mare is coming to the season, to the estrus, and then we are not stressed in the time that hopefully the semen will not cross the border or will get stuck in a post. So the semen is waiting in a tank in a liquid nitrogen, and whenever you will need to, you will just throw it out. So that's perfect. And also currently techniques of freezing semen are very good. So if you have very fertile stallion, the chances for good results are very high. They are coming very similar to breeding with chilled or fresh semen. Okay, so this is my simple AI kind of sum up, and I will carry on with embryo transfer. So this is a process where you need to breed a donor mare. The donor male actually will hold on the embryo for 7 or 8 days, and then the embryo will be flushed out and transferred to the synchronized recipient mare, and the mare will carry the pregnancy till term. Why we can do that? We can use this technique to produce more foals per year, because generally one mare will have 1 foal per year. If you will do embryo transfer, you can have a little bit more. Usually we are trying to have 2 or 3 if possible, and then the mare can carry her own that same year. If you are trying to do more embryo transfers, you can upset the uterus, and then they don't need to cooperate with you. So you generally, if we are trying to produce more foals per year, we will try 2 or 3 embryo transfers, and then the mare can carry her own, or she, in case she will be affected, for example, for some health reason, or that she is not getting pregnant by herself, then basically she will just have the foals in the receipt mares and not her own. What I wanted to point here, that sometimes mares, they have very big reproductive problems and they are unsound reproductively. Sometimes it's difficult because they still, as I said, they still need to be pregnant for a week. And if the uterus is not able to maintain 7 days pregnancy, you will not be able to flush embryo out of this mare. So in that case, we will maybe advise you another technique, which I will speak a little bit later. I would like to just show you how is the process going. So the mare is basically 7, 8 days pregnant. We will put a little catheter. It's very nice and soft. It does not scratch as much. We will put a special flushing media into the uterus, fill it very, so the whole uterus will be filled with the fluid. Hopefully it will kind of collect the embryo and it will flush it through the filter. So I will show you how we did an embryo flushing procedure on in our stocks. You will see them a little bit later. And then we will have a look through the filters, and sometimes it's difficult to see. You can see that almost you don't have a chance to see. This is a special filter. The embryo can't go through this. The holes are very tiny, so hopefully your embryo will stay here. And when you will filtrate it through, then we will have a look under microscope. There is a hidden embryo. I will point them. There is one here, and one also here. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes not. So when we finish our flushing, we are always trying to have a look, and we are trying to see. But if you can't see them, that doesn't mean that it's not there. You need to always have a look under microscope. Then we will transfer them to the dish. It looks like this, and you can try to spot the embryo. So the embryo is here, and we will also evaluate them under microscope. So if you will have a look, there is always some kind of round structure, which this is our embryo. And also, if your mare will ovulate 2 follicles, so she may have a twins. So this flush, there are 2. So one is the same as you saw before, and there is one, it looks a little bit differently. It's because it's a little bit younger. It's kind of 12 to 24 hours younger. And we know we know when to expect twins, because we know that there will double ovulation. It's basically very good practice if you are breeding, to check next day for ovulation and to be sure if they are if there is single or double. So what to do next? We need to load the embryo to the straw. So you can see it's a little bit special technique. So you will suck the embryo, and there you need to maintain a fluid, air bubble, fluid with the embryo, air bubble, and fluid. And then you will load it in this AI pipette. Oh, sorry, I call it AI pipette, but it's not similar to AI catheter, but it's actually not. And then there are many techniques how to transfer the embryo. I'm sorry that maybe this picture is a little bit more graphic, but I wanted to point what actually we are doing. This is a picture of Mare cervix, and the little catheter, it's very fine, very gentle, will go just through the inner canal of the cervix inside of the uterus, and we will deposit the embryo there. And then in a week time, or depending on the age of the embryo, we will be scanning for pregnancy results. We also scan the next day just to be sure that the mare didn't react to the transfer, and let's say 99% they are perfectly fine. What we are doing also, we do have a transported embryo service. So if some vets are doing embryo transfers by themselves, they can flush the embryo at your premises if they are happy to do so, or at their practice, and send us an embryo. Last year we received one embryo by plane, so it was very cool. And the embryos are not affected because they are packed in the boxes. We would explain to your vet how to pack the embryo so it will survive the traveling. Generally, if they are traveling within 12 hours, they are perfectly fine. If they would travel a little bit longer, then it makes them a little bit unhappy. It can upset them. But in UK, the distances are not as long, so it's perfectly fine. Then I will carry on for a little bit more advanced technique, which is called ovum pickup, oocyte collection. Oocyte is the little egg. I'm not sure how you all know scanning and like Mare reproduction. So this is a picture of scanning the ovary. This is the follicle. And during the oocyte collection, fine needle is going through to collect the egg, which we can't see. And during the aspiration, the follicular fluid together with the oocyte is aspirated, and it's coming to the collection bottle. The bottle needs to sit in warm water, so basically the oocytes will not get upset. This procedure will allow you to collect all oocytes from the ovary. We are usually doing this procedure when they are in the transitional phase or during the winters, because it's actually opposite to the season. We don't need one dominant follicle, one big one which will ovulate. We need lots of small ones. Generally, we do this procedure if they have more than 12, because during the procedure and maturation and kind of laboratory part of all the process, which I will show you a bit later, you are losing some percentage of oocytes, and if you will have only one, it's very limited for your results. When we can use it also, that we can do genetic salvage. So if a mare suddenly dies or needs to be put down for some health conditions, what is possible to do to recover the whole ovaries, bring them to us, and with some techniques we will recover the oocytes, the eggs, and we will process them in the lab. So this picture is the oocyte searching, and this picture is the oocyte recovery. This is a picture of oocytes. So they are kind of 1/2 or 1/3 of actual embryo size. And if we will do the OPU, ovum pickup, generally for up till now, let's say until now, we were sending them for commercial reasons to Italy. There is a specialized lab. We also cooperate with one lab in Netherlands, and they will do process of ICSI, which I will show you a bit later. Currently, we are ongoing our progress of developing our own ICSI lab, and we have already some very good successes. So if there is an interest, we can talk you through. And then when the oocytes are collected, the ICSI process is done, then the embryo is incubated for 8 to 9 days, and hopefully from the stage of kind of one cell, will develop to the embryo, and at this stage they are frozen, they are in liquid nitrogen, and they can travel wherever you want. Usually they will come back to us. We will prepare a recipient mare. We will, when she's ready, then we will transfer the embryo, and hopefully next year you will get your foal. This is a process of ICSI, it's the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So one single sperm is in the needle, and it will inject in the oocyte and leave the sperm behind, and hopefully that will develop to embryo. It's very skilled technique, so you need to have an operator who knows what to do. There is not many places. It's basically copying what it's done in humans, in ladies. Okay, so this is our success story. So basically, this Shire mare suddenly needs to be put down because of her health conditions. So we did the genetic salvage. So their vets at the local place recovered her ovaries. We collected oocytes. We prepared them. Our team of embryologists and vets did the ICSI. This is this embryo. We transferred it in this mare, and this is her pregnancy scan at 28 days with a heartbeat, and this is pregnancy scan at 42 days, and now she is pregnant at home, and hopefully she will develop. She will fall a little bit later, like June, July time. So we are very excited. Just I would like to kind of sum up when we will do all the transfers. We are looking for the pregnancy, and we are all excited that everything went very well. So generally our receipts after embryo transfers, we are scanning a little bit earlier because we want to know. But you can scan nicely for pregnancy scan at 14 days when the embryo is 14 or 15 millimeter big. It's this little bubble, so it's easy to remember at 14 days, 14 or 15 millimeter. At 28 days, it's looking like this. This red and blue color, it's a Doppler flow, so it will show you that there is a heartbeat. On the actual uterus, you will see there is a little bit kind of bubble developing, but not as much. And at 42 days, it's looking like this, and you can you can nicely see that it's developing in the horn. Equine embryos are actually interesting. They, opposite to other species, if you have this bubble at 14 days, they are movable, they are running up and down in the uterus, and around 16 to 18 days, they will either sit in the base of the horn on the left or right, and then they will stay there and they will develop. So in the beginning, they are running around up and down, and there is the way how the mares will recognize that she's pregnant. So that's one interesting part. I just want to show you that there is the heartbeat. And around day 65, we can do a pregnancy scan just to check, but we also can do pregnancy scan to kind of try to diagnose if it's female or male fetus. So if you are expecting male or female, and I don't want to be rude, but I will point. And if you will have a look on the belly, so there is umbilical. So this is head, this is neck and spine and chest. There is flicking somewhere heartbeat. This is hind legs. And have a look here. Once more. So this is a cold. Does it make sense? Okay, thank you for your attention.